Hey guys, welcome to our channel Coders Arcade. In today's video, we are going to start a new topic which is read or writing using Python in PyCharm. In today's video, we are going to see how we can open a new file and then how we can edit that file using Python command. So using PyCharm. Now here, this is my directory where I'm going to create. So in this PC, in my data and my documents and in my Python folder, I'm going to create a new txt file, or you can say the text file. So if we create a new text file like this, I'm not going to create a text file using my right click method, and we are going to see how we can create this text document using our PyCharm. So here, as you can see, this is a PyCharm open, and here, as you can see in my projects window, you will see that this is a project window and this is our main workspace. In our project window, in my main workspace, I'm going to create a new file for reading and writing. So new and then file, and then let us name this file as read write.py. So read write.py, and if I press enter, this is going to create me a new file called read write.py. I'm going to close my projects panel, and here we are going to see how we can open our first text document. So let us see how we can open that. Now, first, to open the text document, you need to give a open command. So for that, we are going to write f equals to, and then we can write here open. So here inside open, if I give in my double quotes, here I'm going to specify the path. So f equals to open. So this is going to open a new file for us. So let us give us the path that we want to open. So currently we want to open a new file in D, and in our D, I'm going to give 2 backslashes. I'll tell you why 2 backslashes. First, let us complete our path. So D, then my documents. As you can see, it is recognizing the folders. So that means that we are writing it properly. So we have all the folders. So D, then documents, and then backslash, and then in my Python folder, I am going to create a new file. So again, double backslash, and then I'm going to give the name of my new file. So let us create a file as test.txt, and this is going to open a new test.txt file. So this will be the text document file. So why text document file? Because in our format I have specified .txt. So this is a text document format. So that is why test.txt, which is the text document file, will be opened. Now, if I press enter, now you were wondering that why I've used this double slash in between. So actually in Python, when you write single slash, it will change the meaning of whole thing, and now this slash t will have another meaning. So that is why we use double backslash. So this is how we specify path whenever we use whenever we want to specify any path of any location of file or something, anything like that, where we specify the path using double backslash instead of single backslash. So you need to keep this in your mind, and let us continue. So this is going to open the file. Now, one more thing that you need to remember: once we have opened the file, you need to specify the mode as well. So after my test.txt file, I'm going to give a comma, and then I'm going to, in my double quotes, I'm going to give the specify the mode for in which mode I am going to use this file. So if I'm in writing mode, if I'm into editing mode, I'm going to write W. So W means write mode. So this is going to tell the PyCharm, the program, that currently we are in the write mode. So it is going to write whatever we are going to give the commands, or what we are going to give the text in our next line. If I write here A, so whatever text we are going to give in future, that is going to be appended in the previous file that have been edited. So let us see. If I write here W, and again if I press here enter, in our next line I'm going to write here f.write. So this f.write, what this will do is f.write will start writing or editing our test.txt file. So we can add anything that we want. We can write anything we want in our test.txt file using this method. So again, in my f.write, I'm going to use in my double quotes. Let us write here Coders Arcade. So as you can see, I have written Coders Arcade. So what this is going to do, first it is going to open the file, and this is the path and this is the file name, and we are into the write mode. So you can see W means we are in the write mode, and f.write, this is going to write, this is going to edit the text file, and we are going to write in Coders Arcade into our text file. Then after that we are going to close this file. Again, whatever file we are going to open, we always have to close the file, otherwise it is going to take up all the resources. If you don't close this file, it is going to take the computer resources, and that is not very efficient way to do the work. So you have to always close the file whenever you open a file. So for that we write f.close, and this is going to close our file. So what we have done till now here, we have opened a file. Our file name is test.txt, and we are in the write mode, and then f.write, we have written Coders Arcade into our test.txt file, and then we have closed the file. So let us see, if I run this code, I'll write here run, and then I'm going to press here run, and then I'm going to select the program run, read and write. So here, as you can see in our output window, there is no error. That means the program is running fine. Now I'm going to go to my directory where I wanted to. You can see here our test.txt file has been created in our D documents and in Python folder test.txt. If I open this, you can see Coders Arcade has been written onto this text file. So this is how we can use this write function in our Python to open a file and edit something into that file. Now let us see, I'm going to go to my PyCharm again, and here now let us see, suppose we need to override this thing. So I'm going to override this thing. I can just write here, let us say Python, and again if I run this code, you can see there is no error into it. Let me close this file first and then reopen the file. You can see Python has been written here. So here you can see Python has been written here. So this is our test.txt file that we have created using our Python. I'm going to close this file. I'm going to go back to my Python, and here let us say we want to, instead of overwriting, you need to remember that whenever we are in the write mode, whatever we are going to write here will be overwritten in our main file. So now let's say after writing Python, I want to write Coders Arcade, but I don't want to overwrite this Python, and instead we want to write Coders Arcade with this. So how we can do this? We need to change our mode. So instead of W, if I write A, so now the program will know that we are not in the write mode, but we are in the append mode. So now whatever we are going to write here, that is going to be appended instead of overwriting the previous thing. So if I delete this, it is not going to overwrite the Python. Python will be there, but whatever I write. So suppose if I write Coders Arcade again, this is going to append the Python with Coders Arcade. So now if I try running this again, and if I check my file, test.txt file, you can see Python and then without spaces Coders Arcade. So as you can see, this is on the same line. Now if you want this to be in another line, how we can do that? Let me close this file. Let me go to my PyCharm. And here, if you write here \n, so this is going to print this Coders Arcade. This is going to append Coders Arcade again into our next line instead of rewriting the whole line again. So if I again run it, you will see no error. And if I open this file, you can see Python Coders Arcade, and next line Coders Arcade has been printed. So this is how you can open a file, you can write a file, and you can append that anything onto that file again. So this is our code. Again, you need to remember, whatever you want, whatever you are performing, you need to see your mode, in what mode you are performing what thing. According to your need, you are going to change this. So this is all for this video, guys. In today's video, we saw how we can open a file, how we can write a file, and how we can append a file using different modes, such as write and append mode, which is write, W for write and A for append. And don't forget to close your file, because it is not the efficient way of working in Python. It is going to take up the resources for your file, and that is not a very efficient way, and also it may give you an error. You may encounter an error. So you need to keep in mind, if you open a file, you should close your file properly. We saw that how we can open a file, we can write a file, and we can append a file. We were first opening the file. So this was the test.txt file, and we were using first the W mode to write, and we were writing onto that particular file. And after that, we were appending onto that using A mode, which is append mode. But here, let us see how we can read the file. So here in my directory where I have changed the contents of test.txt file, and here I have written some lines here. So hi guys, welcome to Coders Arcade. We love Python. So how we can read these 3 lines, and how we can use a PyCharm for using Python to read a txt file. So let us see how we can do that. I can just delete this code, and you can see that we have already opened our file. So we are going to use the same test.txt file to read it. And since I have already updated the contents of this test.txt file, which is this, so I'm just going to read it. So now I need to go to read mode. So I'm going to write here R, and we are right now into a read mode. So this is going to open the file. This is the path of our test.txt file, and we are right now in the read mode. So it can read the file now. So let us print the file. So what we can do is, I can just write here print, and inside this I can just write f.read here, and this is going to read my file. And always don't forget to close your file. So f dot, I can say here close. So this is how we can read the file. So this is going to read the file using the R mode, which is the read mode, and then it is going to print the files. It is going to print the contents. It is going to read f.read is going to read the test.txt file, and this print function will print all the things that is written onto that file. And then after that, it is going to be closed from the Python. So here let us try running it. So if I run it, you can see that our text file has been read properly. So here you can see, hi guys, welcome to Coders Arcade. We love Python has been printed. So this is the contents. So this is how you can read the file using the .read function and using the read mode. So this was a simple method of reading the file from any txt file. Here in this case, let us try some new experiments. So let us say we want to add the word count. Let us say we want to calculate the word count as well for each of the line. So what I meant to say is, I'm going to show you what I meant. So you see here, hi guys, welcome to Coders Arcade. We love Python. So what I meant is, I need to see the word count somewhere on the first line, and then we are going to count the number of words, and then we are going to print the whole line. So each line will be shown how many words are there in each of the line, and we are going to print the number of words in each of the line, and we are going to see how we can do that using Python. So let us move on to the PyCharm. Here we have already read it. So this was the simple read thing. Now let us say we want to read the line one by one, and we are going to iterate those things, and then we are going to count the number, because we cannot count the number once like this. So if I cannot count the numbers using this code, just because it is going to read the code once at a time. So once I execute this whole code will be executed, and this is going to be read at one time. I don't want that. Instead, I want to read the code line by line, and after one line is done, I'm going to print the number of counts, number of words that are in that line, in that particular line, and then I'm going to move on to the second line, and then I'm going to count the number of words in that second line, and then I'm going to print those number of words here, and then I'm going to move on to my third line, and then I'm going to print the number of words onto that particular line. So I want to do that. So this code will just read the whole code, all the lines at once. We don't want that. So what I can do is, instead of this, what I can do is, I'm going to create a for loop. So I'm going to iterate over each of the lines so that one by one we are going to read it, and one by one we are going to see what is happening onto each of the line. So let us say I'm going to write here for line in F, and this is going to iterate the code, iterate the text, all the lines, iterate over the main source file, which is this test.txt file, and it is going to read all the lines one by one, and it is going to be printed. So let us print the line. So what I can do is I can just write here print, and I can just write here line. So if I print lines here, you can see what I meant by this. If I run this, you can see, so this is the first iteration, and then this is the second iteration, and this is the third iteration. So in the first iteration it is going to only read this hi guys, welcome to, and then in the second iteration it is going to read the code is arcade, and then it is going to read in the third iteration we love Python. So using this for loop, we are going to iterate. We have iterated all over this source code, over this source file in all the lines. Now let's say how we can count the number of words in each of the line. So for that, if we count the number of words, what Python will think that this is whole one word. Why one word? Because it is also going to include all these white spaces. I want to separate each and every word from this white spaces. I'm not going to count the white spaces, and I'm going to separate each word from another word. So how we can do that? There's a function called split. So we're going to write split. How we can do that? I'm going to write here line dot split, and using this line dot split, we are going to split each and every word from white spaces. So here inside our parameters, I'm going to give one white space, and this is going to be saved into our tokens. So I'm write token. I'm going to write here token, and token is nothing but the number of words. It is going to separate each of the whatever words has been separated using this split, and the white spaces will be splitted, and all the words will be stored onto this token. So token is nothing but the number of words into the each of the line, and then we are going to just print these tokens. So if I write here token and I'm going to run it, let us see. So you can see each of the word is being now separated from white spaces. So, and white spaces are not being counted, and you can see here each of the word is being splitted. So this is what this line dot split does, and so it's splitted from the white spaces, and all of each and every word for each of the every line is being printed, and it has been updated into an array. So this is one array, this is also one array, and this is also one array. So now we have splitted all the things from our line. So we have achieved one goal, that we have splitted all the words. Now we need to count the number of words. So what I can do is I can just print the number of the length of this each of the array. So how we can do that? Instead of just print token, I can just write here len, and I am going to just put this token inside len, and now if I run this code, you will see we will get the count of the length of each of the array. So this is how we used the arrays and the len function to count the number of word in each of the array, and now each of the line has been splitted into arrays. So what I'm going to say is, what I wanted to show you, each of the line is one array now, and each array is containing all these separated words using the split command, using the split function, and we are using this len function to display the length of this whole array. So now we have splitted the words, and now we have found the number of words using the len function. Now we just need to print out this into a separate file, which will be the output file. So how we can do that? First of all, I'm going to create another file. So I'm going to create another file. So I'm going to write here, which is this file will be the output file. So till now we were using this test.txt file to just read the things, and we were operating into our terminal. But now to see the output properly, we are going to create another file that will be printed. In that file, we are going to rewrite all these lines and the number of words onto each of the line. So f_out, so this will be the name of the output file, equals to, I'm just going to copy this whole thing, and I'm just going to change the name of the output file as well. So .out, and we are going to change the mode here. So we are in the write mode, so we are going to use W. So this has created another output file. So f.out is the output file, and it is going to be made in the same directory as the test.txt file. Just we need to change the tester.txt to test_out. So this will be the name of our output file, and we are working on the write mode now for this particular file. Now after this, I can just write here f_out dot write, and what we are going to write here, we are going to count the number of words here. So how we can write here, in underscore we can write here word count will be, I'm going to concatenate the string, and we can just print the length of the token. But remember, if we print the length of the token, this is the string, right? We need to convert this length of the token to string as well for our print, for our write function to write properly. Otherwise, it is going to give us an error, because you're writing the string here. We have written a string here, so we need to convert this into string as well. So I'm going to write str, and then I am going to just concatenate it with line. So if I write here line, and I'm going to just delete this. So what I have done here, you can see here properly. First of all, we have read the main file, the main test.txt file, in which this was written. Hi guys, welcome to Coders Arcade. We love Python. Then we have created our output file where we are going to store our output. So we were just reading in this case, and now in the output file, we were in the write mode. So I have used W in this case. Now we have used for, and then we have splitted the words, and then I have just used length.token to concatenate with the string word count, and then I've printed the line. So fout.write is going to print the line, each and every line one by one, because it is onto the for loop. And we can see output here. If I run this, you will see what I mean. So we don't have any error now. So if I see here, if I go, you can see that test.out has been made. And if I open this, you can see word count 5 in this case, and the line which is printed here in this word count is 2. So Coders Arcade 1, 2. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and this 5 here, this comma also. And then word count is 3 here. So 1, 2, 3. So this is how you can count the number of word and print the number of line using the read and write command together in PyCharm. So this is what I meant to do. So we saw the use of split here. So we splitted here each and every word and printed it in an array, and then using that array, we used alien function on that array to count the number of words into that particular array, and then we just printed the arrays with the word count. So this is the array, and this is the word count, and this is the line. So in each of the line, we printed the length of that particular line. So this is how you can use read and write modes in Python using PyCharm. We are going to see more of the modes, and we are going to see how if you forget the close statement, this is a very important statement. As I have told you before in the second and the first part, this can create a problem for you, because it is going to take all the resources, and this file is not going to close by itself. So for this, we are going to use with a statement. Now, sometimes what happens is, when you write a long code, in that code, suppose you have opened some file, but just because it is a long code, you forget to close that file. So in that case, we are going to use the with statement to solve this problem. So first of all, this was the code that that we were doing. Okay, so first of all, let me just clear these lines. Okay, so let these two lines be there. Here, we were using the read mode in the first one, and the second one was for the write mode. So this was the output file, and this was the main file that we were using to open and read the file. So now let us talk about more modes. So another mode which is very popular and people use most of the time is R plus, and the second mode is the W plus. So this is the read plus and the write plus mode. So till now we have talked about the R mode, which is the read mode, W mode, which is the write mode, A mode, which is the append mode, and now we are seeing these two more modes, which is R plus, which is the read plus mode, and the W plus, which is the W plus mode. So here if I write R plus, so what this is going to do is, this is if you write R plus, now this will allow you to read and write both in your current file. So if you see here test.txt, this is going to read, and now you can edit this file as well. So if it was R mode, you can only read this test.txt file, but you cannot write that. You cannot update that, or you cannot write that. But if you use R plus mode, this will allow you to read plus write. Both the features will be allowed onto this test.txt file. The same thing happens here, W plus mode. If you use W plus mode, what this is going to do is, it is also going to write the test.out.txt, and also it will allow you to read the testout.txt. So in this case, now you may have a doubt that this W plus and this R plus mode are the same, right? Then what is the difference between this R plus and the W plus? Why we use R plus and W plus in different places? So the real meaning for R plus is, it can read and write both, but in this case, if you use write R plus, then it is going to only read and write it if this file is present on your this path or not. That means if the file is not present, this test.txt file is not present on this part, this is going to give us an error. This is going to throw us an error. It will say that the file is not present and it cannot read the file. So the first priority will be the reading and the writing. That means the first priority will be the read mode. So if the file is present, then only it can read and write that file. Alright, so it cannot create the file. It can only read the file if that file is present. But if we talk about this W plus, if suppose this file is not present, then what it will do is, it will create this file and then it will read and write both on that file. It can read also, it can write also, and plus if this file is not present onto this path, what this W plus mode is going to do, this is going to create this testout.txt on this particular path, and then it can read and write it. But if you use R plus, if the file is not present, it is going to give us an error. It is not going to do anything. It is going to give us an error. So this is the main difference between the read mode and the write mode, the read plus and the write plus mode. So let us say I'm going to delete this thing. So let us say temporarily, let's just delete this test.out. I'm going to delete this as well. And now you see it should give us an error. Why it should give us an error? Because we have deleted this file, test.txt file. Now this R plus mode can only read the file if that file is present or not. So since the file we have deleted, this test.txt file has been deleted, it should give us an error. But if we talk about this this statement right here, just because testout.txt is not there, it is going to create that testout.txt. So let us run it. If I run this, you can see it is going to give us an error. Traceback file most recent call last, which is file not found error. So it has given the error. You can see just because that file is not there, that is why it is not. It has given us the error. But this command did not execute it just because we have an error on this file. So let us now undo it, undo delete. You can see we have brought our test.txt file back, And still now we don't have the test out.txt which we deleted before. I am going to just run this code again, and let me show you what now this is going to do is, it should not give us an error, but it should be executed properly, because now the test.txt file is present back, and it is not going to give us an error. It is going to go to the read mode, and then it can also write that. But here in this test out is not present, but this w plus, what is going to do is, it is going to create this test out.txt no matter it is present or not. So let us run it. You can see that this time we didn't get an error, but if we see the directory, you can see that test out.txt is present. So it created the test out.txt, though it was not there, just because we were using this w plus command. So this is how you can use the r plus and the w plus command, the different modes, the more modes. So now let me move on to the other topic. Let us say one more thing that I forgot here is f.close. Right, we didn't close the file, so that is why, just because we were I was explaining this, so I forgot to close this file. That is why, and also I have only closed this file, but I have not closed the f out file. So here I am going to write f out.close. So every time I have opened a file, I have to close that file as well. So this is a very important part. So if I can run it again, now it is going to properly open the file and then close the file. So you saw that I forgot this close thing, right? So for that, we are going to see solution, what we can do. Now, suppose you have a very large program. There you will obviously forget to write this f.close, right? So that time, what we can do is, we can use the with statement. So here I can just modify it. You can see. So I'm going to write here with, and then I'm just directly going to write open, and inside our double quotes, I'm going to give the path. So D, inside my D, double backslash documents, and then double backslash Python, and here double backslash, let's say test.txt, and then we are going to give the mode, which is inside again the double quotes, which is let's say read mode, and then I'm going to write here as f, and then colon. So now what this has happened is, whatever I'll write the program, it is going to work same as the previous f command. So it is going to work same as this command, which is f equals to open, and then we specify this directory right here. So it is going to work same as this command. So this is going to work as same as this command, but the difference here is that in this command you need to close the file every time you open it like this, but in this case, in the with statement, you don't have to close your opened file again and again. So whatever I will write inside the indentation of this program, this file, it is going to automatically close it. So this way you don't have to close the file again and again. So let us say if I read here. So if I say here print f.read, so this is going to open the file. It is going to read the command, the read whatever it is written in this test.txt. So it should read, hi guys, welcome to Coders Arcade, we love Python, and then it should close it automatically. So in this case, we don't have to write the close command again and again. So let us say if I run this, you can see that this has read the file properly, so we don't have any problem. So it is working fine for us. But in this case, we don't have to close it again and again. So it is going to close it automatically. So this is why we use with statement, so that we don't have to close the file manually again and again. So this is what I wanted to discuss in this video. With this, we have come to an end with this topic, which is file handling in Python. Thanks for watching. I hope you have followed well. I'll catch you guys in the next one. So this is all about this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video, and if you like it, then tell us in the comment section below. If you have any doubts, then post them in the comment section. I will definitely try to clear those doubts. Also, like, share, and subscribe to our channel Coders Arcade and press the bell icon so that you will get a notification when we post our new video. Thank you. Happy learning.